Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 4.
Four.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
Already losing count,
Yeah.
so that's a really good sign. Episode 4 of the Chatty Natty Podcast. Me and Zack have decided to wear the same T-shirt today, totally by chance.
We generally didn't mean to.
Yeah, and who's going to believe
we're
that?
promoting natural bodybuilding, so I think it's valid.
It's only right that we wear the brand probably most associated with natural bodybuilding at the moment, MBW.
100%.
Interestingly, whenever I wear this now, because I got this on my last show, I got this T-shirt at the MBW International.
Yes.
Because my other one was
holds
stolen.
Sentimental value.
Yeah, but it's interesting because like I wear it, and peak off season, which was obviously not even that long ago, like barely even 7 weeks ago, this like barely fit because I was getting quite rotund, and now it's a nice fit again. So
it's actually an extra large T-shirt now.
Yeah, mate, it's looking a little bit loose, but I guess that leads me very nicely into my little update and my week and things. So,
Go for it, man.
After our conversation last week about diets, and I don't really know, I would say you got in my head a little bit. I would say
what
that.
I do best.
Yeah,
I do best.
But I think I didn't really realize as well, like, I have got 6 weeks until my holiday, and that crept up really quickly. And then I just thought, I might as well just send it a little bit, turn the dial up. So we've done that this week. Food's dropped, steps have gone up, and I've dropped like another 3 or 4 pounds this week or something. So I'm 190 flat at the minute, and it's so interesting, right? You do that and you turn that screw a little bit, and obviously you get the result. I've had like 6 or 7 people say to me this week, like, "Oh, you look like you've lost weight. You look like you've lost weight." And it's because it just comes off your face, and then all of a sudden, like, people start to notice. But that's all good.
How's your performance been?
Well, that's another matter unto itself, because after our hour-long conversation last week about injury mitigation, I flared up my injury again on the Monday. So
a hip thrust.
On a hip thrust, but all is not lost. I had a couple of days where I was feeling about 87 years old, getting out of bed. It's got better across the week again. Went and saw the physio yesterday, who's wicked. She, like, it's so interesting when you go and see them. Like, I know we spoke about this before, and like I used to have a bit of a stigma against physios because I was like, I just know my body really well, and I've had some bad experiences in the past with physios, getting things wrong. And now I've actually found a good one. Oh, mate, it's a game changer. Like, everything I've had wrong. So, it's crazy. Like, for anyone listening out there, obviously, I would massively recommend Sean at Muscle Heart. I'm sure you would recommend Fred. And it's more just dependent on where you're located. But she's just fixed everything that I've had wrong with me.
Yeah, I think once you find a good physio, it definitely makes a difference. But as we also said, like, knowing somebody who is a physio that's also works with a lot of athletes, that makes a big difference, because you know, when you a bodybuilder in comparison to, say, a CrossFit athlete or an elderly woman, it's all very different, you know.
It's fascinating. Like, she said that to me yesterday, that, like, because I've got this thing where I'm like, right, I know where the pain is because I'm experiencing the pain. I'm experiencing that sensation. And I said to Sean, I was like, how do you know where the pain is? And she's like, I just, like, feel. I'm like, how do you feel with your elbow? Because she'll be going up my back, completely unaware of where that is. And then all of a sudden, she'll just stop right on where there's a massive knot. And it was just like, she's like mining for gold and just finding the exact spot.
Is she a physio or a sports therapist, or both?
Sports therapist.
Okay. Yeah,
but she's wicked, mate. And like yesterday,
that's another thing though for people. There is a difference between the two. There's a difference between a physiotherapist and a sports therapist. Because a physiotherapist, obviously they're more I suppose they have to spend a lot more time studying. I believe you can get a sports therapist qualification relatively quick. It's almost a bit, I think, I'm not 100%, but I don't think, I think you can almost do crash courses to a degree, a bit like the PT.
Yeah, I'd have
I
to
think,
ask her
well,
because
physiotherapy is obviously different.
I don't want to say she's one thing and then find out that she's something else and I've underqualified her. But in any case,
Yeah.
she's wicked. It turns out
Yeah,
that like
she's very, very clever.
my entire back had basically like, I've not had my back massage in ages, and it just like fused into one block of muscle. But you know, when they start working you and like digging out the knots and stuff, there's knots in my erectors the size of like mangoes. It's insane. And
mango.
Mate, and they push it. She had her elbow on it, and it literally felt like there was a fist there that was my knot, and she's just working it up all the way, and it came like from the bottom of my back all the way to my shoulder, and just went. So that was good.
Massive erector, mate. I just saw all those deadlifts and those RDLs. It's now turned into the size of a mango.
Yeah, exactly. But that was all good. Trained yesterday for the first time since re-aggravating it. Did like an adapted session, and I think that's something that I think is just super key to bodybuilding. Like, you're not gonna, for most of us, unless it's something that's like absolutely debilitating, you cannot train. Being told as a bodybuilder, like, you can't train, you are going to go and do something, aren't you? You're going to go and scratch that itch and find ways around. And I think in the long run, that's probably part of being a successful bodybuilder, is facing the adversity, having a higher power tell you like, yeah, you cannot hinge and you cannot hip thrust, but you can go and do X, Y, Z, and then just maximizing what you can get out of those other movements.
Yeah, 100%. That's how my training's been this week as well.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I'm back to doing full body sessions because, as I said last week, my sciatica flared up again. And this week I've done Monday full body, Wednesday full body. Today's going to be a full body. And I'm going to do full body again on Sunday. And
how shit is that? We spoke for an hour last week about injuries and then got hurt, both of us.
Yeah. I have to be so careful with mine though, because I mean, I almost do like too much volume on one muscle group, and then it almost just feels completely unproductive. And I went in to do pendulum squat. When was it? Yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? 2 days ago. And I loaded up 10 kilos on it, and then it was like, okay. Loaded up 20 kilos, and I was like, yep, that's not even going to happen, because the normal pain was still there. So I was like, I'm not even going to bother. I just need to let almost like the nerve settle a little bit more before I can actually get back into some decent loading pendulum squats again and just leg work. So so even doing like 4 working sets on the muscle group for me at the minute, just keeping the frequency higher is better than not going in at all. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what we're kind of saying before about you kind of you build that, right? You build that from experience, and you know now more than anyone like what your body can take and what is a normal pain signal versus what is like a no, this is going to make me paralyzed for a week, basically. Which I think is really important. And we said it last week. We talked about how, like, with what we do and the level of training intensity that we bring to every session, like, you are walking a tightrope at the end of the day. That's why you see so many bodybuilders. Like, I don't want to bring anything upon us, so I'm just going to knock on the table there to touch wood. But like pec tears, quad tears, like all of these injuries, they are really common in the sport. And when you think
did you see Jack Eagles?
I did, mate. That's what has brought it to the front of my mind, to be honest with you. But like he's doing it.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating. Like, you really get an idea into the psychology of these people. Like, I know multiple people in my life who just play sports as like a hobby or whatever, and they'll do something. They'll have a bad injury and they'll just go and sit for months. They'll be like, right, well, I can't do anything.
That's
like,
it then.
Eagles is in there in the gym, hack squatting or whatever it was he was doing with his arm in a sling. And it's like, that's the approach, that's the mindset that separates, you know, the people who really do have goals that they want to achieve from those who are just going to like let it. And it sucks. It really sucks, because you just start getting in your own head. But And I'm sure, like Jack, I saw one of his stories this week, and it was about how like showing everyone he's still got a sense of humor and he's not like turbo depressed, and it's like I
Yeah,
get it, but you will with especially with someone who has the goals that he's got within the sport, you know. But we've seen countless people come back from it. I think that's how you have to look at these things.
Yeah, muscle memory is a big thing anyway. There's one
Yeah,
thing I
yeah,
noticed. Like even though like muscle was off my frame for quite a long time period, but as I started to get into consistent training again, like okay, it might not have fully returned back to where it was, but a good sort of like 80% returns relatively assertively, you know.
yeah. And then you build
That
that
was like
20 over time.
That was like 4 or 5 months of getting back to like decent, pretty good training again. And then things started to intensify. Obviously, the further on into those months went on. Yeah, it surprises you. You know, you'll start taking photos and you're like, oh, okay, like maybe it is still there.
Yeah, yeah. I think
So
that's
you just have to, you just don't need to stress.
that's the whole sport once again though. Like even with me in this diet phase I'm in at the minute, it's so weird because in your off season you definitely like you can see the shape change and you can see the structural changes, and you start dieting down and you start thinking like, have I even put on that much muscle? And I always tell clients that this is why important photos at the start of your journey are so important, because all it takes to snap you out of that like stupid headspace is just look at the first photo you ever took and then you go, oh
Yeah.
fucking hell, yeah. All right,
Side by
maybe
sides at different body rates.
yeah,
That always
maybe
does
I've made
it. But
yeah, maybe I've made a
the
little
thing
bit of
is,
progress.
as well, you need to always compare the side by side comparisons in a very similar environment.
Yeah,
Like, say
standardizing.
for you now, like 190 on the way down is going to look different to 190 on the way up, because now you're going to be extremely flat and depleted.
Yeah,
Whereas 190 on the way up is you in a very gradual surplus.
yeah, and it definitely
So
feels that way a
the
bit.
look's going to be different.
But
So yeah, go on.
other than that, mate, this week it's been good. Business is busy. Cracking along with those things. What else have
Yeah.
I done? I went to see the Odyssey, which I'm sure
Any
most
good?
people. Yeah, worth
Mate,
going to watch.
Paige won't watch it with me,
Why
so I'm going to
not?
go by myself.
Why does she not want to watch it?
Apparently, well, she says it's not up our street, and I don't know. I haven't really seen the trailer, but I've just heard so many good reviews about it, and now I feel like I want to go see it. I feel like she's seen the trailer, maybe I haven't, but I need to go watch it. So I'm gonna have to go on my one.
It's a spectacle. That's what it is. Like the
Yeah,
the story. I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I don't. I know like Greek mythology and bits and pieces, but the cinematic approach of it, it's Christopher Nolan, so it's like how
yeah,
grand can you make it and how amazing can it be on screen, and like the audio and the visuals. And it is, there's bits in it where you're like, wow, okay, this is really quite special. But yeah, worth going to see. What else did I do this week? There was something else. Oh, I went to see Darren Brown yesterday.
no, really?
Yeah, in
Is it
Northampton.
sick? He's like the hypnotist. Is he like the hypnotist?
Yeah,
No, Derek. Yeah, he is, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think James Mercer went to that as well because he put it on his story.
I went with Izzy's brother last night, and some bits of it were really good. I'm not going to lie. Like some bits of it, you are sat there and you're going, "Well, hang on a minute. Like, how the fuck has he done that?" And but it was like basic magic. It was like in the same way that if I pulled out a pack of cards and did a trick on you, and you just didn't know how I did it, you'd be like, "Okay, that's pretty impressive." So just
Yeah.
imagine that, but on a bigger scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those bits I really enjoyed because I was like, that's just simple magic with a bit more like Shazam and a bit more flair because he's on a stage in front of like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
The hypnotizing bits, I just think are a load of bollocks. There's no fucking way. Like honestly, mate, you're watching it and you're like, every time he does it, you're just like, come and do it to me. Come and do it to me. Like it's people's reactions. That's what gets me. I just can't believe it. Like he walks up to people in the audience, and the way that he's moving, to me, it's almost like they have been told before that they're going to be the people he picks. and like, because he the way that he finds them is it looks like he's looking for that person and making it look like he's not looking for that person, and then he'll hypnotize them. He's asleep, and they're just hanging there. And the weirdest bit, like the bit that makes me doubt it the most, is that when he wakes them up, none of them are like, "What the fuck's just happened, mate? Like, can you explain why I'm on the floor?"
Yeah.
Which that's a big red flag to me. I'd be like, "What
For
have you
sure.
just done to me?"
Yeah, I'd be like, what? Yeah, what the hell? Like, you'd be a bit more surprised.
Yeah, they literally, like, they wake them up and they have the camera showing their faces, and they're just like, "Hello." It's like, what? What do you mean, hello?
Maybe they're just so out of it.
Mate, I'd be fists up.
They're
I'd be,
still out of it.
smacking him in the face.
Yeah.
What have you done to me, you pervert? How long have I been
Yeah,
asleep for?
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there should be more of like that wow factor.
But I think like it was relatively, like, I got to go because it was Izzy's brother's like birthday present from his mum. They got 2 tickets. I don't think it's like massively expensive though. I think it's 35 quid or something. So if anyone's got 35 quid that they want to spare, and yeah, I'd recommend going to it, even if it was just to like see it in live action.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. Anyway, I've rambled on. How's your week been?
Yeah, I mean, bodybuilding aside of my own processes, it's actually been really good. I am officially an affiliate with Full Bore Sports. So yeah, had the call with Rob yesterday. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. So yeah, had a call with Rob yesterday.
Big time.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes long. It was a good chat. Obviously just talking about how it all works and stuff. But yeah, I'll get a good chunk amount of my supplements each month, and then obviously people can start using my code as well, which is nice. But I like Full Bore. They're obviously they don't specify on one specific brand. Obviously, it's like a range of different brands, but all very high quality supplements.
Stuff you'd be using anyway.
Yeah, but they've always got, you know, a membership site. I believe there's like forums on there. You know, there's a lot of education, so it's not just a supplement company. There's also a lot more going on to it. Rob's obviously very passionate about what he does. I think he said he's got a couple of his own sort of like supplements that he's bringing out, which is also another reason of why he wanted me to come on board to help him launch some of the new products. So there's going to be probably some videos coming out with that. I don't think I can announce what they are yet. I don't know whether he's announced it or whether he hasn't. So I better probably
keep it on the tabs, mate. Don't
better keep me mouth
even started.
Yeah. So yeah, really happy. Obviously, this is basically the first proper sort of like supplement company that I've been on board with. I was on board with one in 2022, but it wasn't really very serious. It was a little bit laxy daisy, to be honest, and it didn't really align with me. So I didn't really stick with it. Obviously, we had a conversation and whatnot, and then that was kind of that. But yeah, this is obviously a lot different now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to promoting Full Bore and you know, helping out my clients, and they can get a little bit of a discount, and obviously anybody else that wants to use my code, but also help him out at the same time and just push each other with collaboration.
What is your code?
I don't know yet. It's literally we just had the call yesterday. We just had the call yesterday, but I can't imagine it's going to be anything like long. It's probably going to be Zack 10.
Something along those lines.
ZDC 10.
We'll have to announce it in the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even announced it over my social media yet, so I guess it's announced here before it's announced over my socials.
Chatty Natty Podcast, our home of exclusive announcements within the sport.
That's it. Probably won't put it as the title though.
No.
So yeah, other than that, obviously we've got the PCA Naturals Kettering this weekend. So I've got Will competing, and I've got Kian. They're both teens, but they are going to be going into juniors. So that's a challenge.
And isn't that a little bit of an announcement in itself?
Yeah, there's a lot of people from Corpus that are doing that show. So there's Sinead, and then there's also obviously Will, as Hugh's client, Ollie, who's doing men's physique. He competed in the PCA Coventry
So
last
his
week,
bits.
and I think that's it. But I think there's like four people roundabouts at Corpus. You know, people that come in for day passes or whatnot that are doing it. So yeah, it's gonna be good. There's a lot of people in terms of like the staff and members that are going to be coming down to the show to support everyone. So it's gonna be a good day.
I'm
Will's
guessing
looking
you're
mega.
going to go.
Sorry,
I'm guessing you're going to go.
I don't know, mate. Don't know. I've said to Will, I might skip this one, mate.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, I am joking. Of course I am. I might get Kean up today as well for an in-person check-in and see how he's looking, ready for Sunday, because his is from Northampton. He has to get a bus to come and see me. It's like a 45-minute bus.
Bless him.
So yeah, we'll see.
Do you want to pull the boys up?
Oh,
who's that guy?
who's that guy? No, that's still me.
You did,
Still
but
just
maybe
me.
did you post it to a story?
Yeah, I think I posted it as a story.
No. All right.
I think I posted him. I posted him here.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So he's got some really strong shots, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say in terms of muscularity, maybe not as heavily muscled in certain shots as Will, but he's got really good shape, really good structure. And yeah, he hits certain shots like his abs and thigh, and it's just really nice.
I think that's
side triceps nice, side chest is nice.
That's the interesting thing. Yeah, that's the interesting thing about especially natural bodybuilding. Like we say it all the time, but you can catch people. You can absolutely catch people if your conditioning's on point and your posing's on point. Like
structure.
I was not the biggest guy on the stage at the UKDFBA, not by a long shot. So
yeah. But the way that you pose and the way that you present yourself can definitely make you take steps forwards.
Carries you a long way.
It does, yeah.
On the topic,
I always say this to people. I mean, look at Ben O'Grady, and when he competed, you know, his conditioning was absolutely fucking nails.
Yeah,
and he got third at British at juniors, so that was a great season.
On the topic of teens, I think just to go on Instagram. I know I always talk about this kid. But I think it's because we've now worked out how to use this tool. It should be like interesting. One of the topics a lot of people talk about in this space is like, what is the limit and what is the natural limit of bodybuilding and stuff. Bring up Callum, just to show the standard of like, this is obviously
what's this? I can't remember his second name.
I'll get it up. He is Callum Jan. Yeah, and then Jan, and he should come up. There he is.
Yeah, he posted these yesterday. That is just absolutely absurd.
So for everyone listening, I would urge you to open your phone. If you're not on YouTube, if you're just listening on Spotify, open your phone and just look at what's on the screen right now. This is one of Adam Powell's boys, who I think a lot of us in the natty bodybuilding world have been paying attention to for the last 6 months or so. He's 19. No, he's 20, isn't he? He's just turned 20.
Yeah, I think he's just turned 20.
He's just turned 20. This is what I would say is like a prime example of like when potential meets discipline and the right structure, the right coach, the right mindset. Yeah, pretty diabolical. Go on.
That is just outrageous.
Go on. I think he's literally just posted something today. I think it's just his training, but yeah, even that. Like, I know it's a mirror, I know it's gym lighting and everything, but like, that's absolutely absurd. And that's what's the difference between them? So 17, 2 years and 8 months.
yeah. I mean, you can tell, like, even just looking at, you know,
genetic potential.
His tricep. Yeah, but I mean, you'd look at his chest there, I suppose, and it's nuts. is just absolutely crazy.
But so
Yeah.
the reason I actually wanted to bring
his training is quite interesting.
Yeah, he's just strong.
Because I don't know if he posts his sessions sometimes. I'm pretty sure. He usually puts it in his. Yeah, look. So you look at some of his like volumes.
Yeah.
It's like one set of a pullover. 3 sets, 4 sets. You know, and I think this is something, you know, people can take away from this. I don't know how frequently he trains or whatnot, but you know, a lot of the time now, as we've said before, a lot of people are doing top set, back off sets, but it just goes to show if the recovery and everything is in a really good spot, you probably can be pushing volume a little bit more than top set, back off set.
Yeah, I don't think top set back off, even though we covered it quite extensively in like the first episode, it's not like a golden rule of like, oh, to make progress you must be doing this.
Yeah, definitely.
And at the top level you'll definitely see one common theme. Bring up Toyton as well, just to show the people what is possible during that in natural bodybuilding. I think at the top level, the one common theme that you will see with all of these guys, like regardless of how they're training, is the intensity that they're training with.
Yeah.
And that becomes like the most important thing. Oh, lovely. And that I think. Oh God! Right, sorry everyone for Zack's guard dogs. Yeah, I'll speak about Toyton whilst Zack sorts the dogs out. Another example of just superior genetics for bodybuilding, meeting the right discipline, the right mindset, and I suppose just someone who's aware of the potential that they've got. Yeah, once again, I would urge you to watch what's on your screens if you are just listening, because the bigger talking point in my mind, and this is something that massively helped me with my own journey and my own transformation. Stop sharing the screen now, Zack, if you can. Just go back to normal. Yeah. So something I think is really important to take away from those two examples, and even like Will and Kian, to be fair, like they're also examples of this. And it's quite simply, the second that you start actually believing that these physiques are achievable, you are going to make so much progress. If you're sat on the sideline and you're literally just watching and going, nah, there's no way they're natural, there's no way that's possible. I remember the example of that for me. It's a bit of a mad story, but like me and Charlie Everall used to train in the same gym in Bedford, the gym group gym, when I was like 19, 20 years old, and he must have been like 17 or something. And I remember when he first started training at the coach, that's how I got exposed to Adam. And the first thought that I had when I saw Adam posting about natural bodybuilding was like, nah, not possible. He's lying. That's why he looks better than me, because he's lying. And then obviously meeting you and discovering a lot more about that whole world, I do genuinely believe that just taking that blocker out of your brain of like, I can't achieve that, and turning that to like, well, what if I can achieve that? It's gonna slingshot you so much further ahead than most people, because just having the belief that it's possible in the first place, you know, it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's just opening up your mindset to understanding that it is achievable, and you know you can add an absolutely shit ton of muscle onto your frame and completely change the way that you look. Just having that self-belief in the first place, that would take you all the way.
Yeah, definitely. So PCA Naturals this weekend. Yeah, exciting. I wish the boys the very best of luck. And
you coming along?
I can't, mate. I'm away. I would be coming along, but I'm away. I'm going to the New Forest for the weekend to frolic and just, you know, be shit at bodybuilding and go in the sea and probably eat some fish and chips and all those good things, you know.
More fish and chips.
Yeah, it's got to be done, mate. If you're down by the seaside, you can't not have fish and chips. Probably the only thing I eat that day, but I'll definitely eat some.
You're going to be doing a lot of steps, aren't you?
It's one of those. Yeah, not going to be a sedentary holiday or trip away whatsoever. But next week we'll do a bit of a review. Sorry if you can hear those motorbikes outside. We'll do a bit of a review. The first show review episode will be next week, and I think that'll probably be quite a big chunk of that episode. We'll just be going through how the boys did.
Definitely.
General, I think once again, just like highlighting every show. This is what I love about like the natural bodybuilding season. Every show highlights an opportunity to make people aware how fucking high the standard actually is, because there's always some absolute freak, no matter what, at every single show that you have to talk about, and you have to go like, what the hell am I even looking at? But I mean, hopefully we'll get some examples of what we've been talking about as well, with how posing can carry you a long way, and presentation and all those other little bits there.
No, it's going to be a good show. It's literally right on the doorstep as well, which is good. Ketterin's like 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away from me.
That is really good.
Obviously, the boys are going into juniors, so you know there's going to be people on that stage that have got an extra 4 years of training under their belts, depending on obviously how young they were when they started training. But I want to put them in this level of competition. Because I want to see where they stand in terms of muscularity next to some juniors. You know?
Yeah, because it's not far off for them.
Not really, and it also gives you a better understanding of like, okay, if the standard's really good at these shows, which hopefully it is, because it's getting towards the back end of the PCA Naturals anyway.
That's
There's only 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks away until the UKDFBA qualifier, like the Midlands anyway. So, you know, people are getting to a point now of where they are getting in shape. You know, they're like people that are like either ready a little bit early, or even people that might be like a little bit behind have still got enough time to start pushing for some serious levels of condition. So, and this is one thing with Will, was he's gone from a peak off-season body weight. So we've had to be quite aggressive this whole entire prep. So far, it really wasn't an ideal circumstance to start prep at. But the thing is the last year of the teens, he signed up with me as he was dieting. And we were just like, right, okay, like you're looking good, so let's turn it into a prep and let's see what we can do. I'm confident that we're going to be able to bring him all the way in, and he's got the work ethic and the commitment to the sport. So, you know, is doing a fantastic job, and it's going to be really interesting to see what we can bring come show days. His conditioning for this show is obviously going to be very different in comparison to the UKDFBA. Is going to be a lot sharper for those shows, even still. Like his side legs, pretty much majority of the way in. From the front, he's pretty much all the way in, pretty fat free. He's just got a little bit more to take off through the glutes from the rear. And then
I like that though. I like the approach. I know it wasn't necessarily done on purpose and more like born out of circumstance than anything else. But the more I think about like how I myself would potentially want to prep next time around, it would be more the way that you've prepped Will. As in like, right, yeah, maybe not from a peak off-season weight, but he's gone into a diet with no intention of prepping, or maybe if there was, it was a very small intention at the back of his mind. As you've gone along, you've just gone, okay, like things are really taking shape. You've actually got plenty of muscle. You're looking really strong. Let's turn it into a prep. I think that creates so much less pressure on that whole period of time. And that, to me, is the way that I would want to do it the next time around. I almost think, like last time when I did my first prep, it's like 3rd of March, 2025, right, we are in prep. We are in prep from this day, and everything was like just very intense from that point onwards. Partially, obviously, on me and my expectations, but I think that the way that you've done it with Will is one that I would definitely want to explore in the future. Less stress.
I think to make that type of approach as successful as you possibly can, you just need to make sure you start in a good position. You know, so if you've got certain things that arise, or like I don't know, family occasions, or there's like a random wedding that's just spurred on you last minute. Obviously, you don't want to go off plan anyway. But you know, you're just in a little bit more of a calmer environment.
Yeah.
And you're actually still feeling good throughout it, because the rate of loss will determine majority of how you feel and how hard the prep is. You know, because if you're losing just so aggressively throughout the whole entire
Yeah, you're just
prep,
gonna feel like shit
you're gonna feel pretty bad.
constantly.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, why I was a little bit more hesitant with Will to go ahead with it, because he's a teen, he's a young lad, you
Yeah.
know, and their first experience of their competition preps can determine a lot. Now, Will's like, he knows this is what he wants to do, and he was ready for a hard prep anyway. And to be honest, I think it's actually not been as difficult as what he thought.
Yeah.
Because we've still gone, even though he's lost like assertively, we've still had the occasional high days that have been implemented when they've needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like brought him back to life a little bit, and then he's pulled back down again, you know, and his training's still been progressing. So, you know, we've protected his training performance as we've come down in body weight. And that's why he's almost like, I suppose a little bit of like recomping. He's definitely built some tissue throughout this contest prep.
Yeah.
You know, which is mental, because he's like 40, he's about 41 pounds down.
Yeah, that's
now from
hefty.
peak off season, and he's still coming away from some sessions. It's like, yeah, progress this, progress that. It's nuts.
Leads on
So,
to a nice little talking point, which I think is like very individual, but I've certainly got my own comments on this. But what do you think would be like? There'll be a lot of people potentially listening to this who are new to the world of natural bodybuilding. It might be their first prep. It might be something they're considering doing in the future, and they're listening and thinking like, well, what am I going to face, and what adversity am I going to have to overcome? What would you say from your own experience, and obviously like taking clients through that as well, tips and tricks and all of this stuff for navigating the difficulties of prep?
the difficulties of prep. I mean, having a strong passion
Mm-hmm.
and your why is going to be one of the main things. You know, if you're faced with difficult experiences during your competition prep, nothing's going to deter you, regardless of what it is. You know, like I mean, throughout my competition prep, you know, like when my granddad passed, it probably spurred me on a little bit more.
Yeah,
because I was like, you know, it's like is watching is like, I want to do him proud, kind of thing. So, you know, I think when you are going through difficult times, depending on what it is, obviously, everyone can go through different things. It could be an injury. Injuries are probably a little bit of a different circumstance, because you've actually got more limitation physically,
yeah,
rather than sort of emotionally. But the more you can just like stay on the correct path and almost just put your focus into your bodybuilding, you know, you can use certain energies as positive energy rather than almost like negative energy.
yeah.
You know, it can actually help you in ways. The only problem is that competition preps can obviously make you very numb to emotion towards the back end.
Yeah.
So you might not necessarily go through like the grief if it is a loss or something. You know, you might not sort of like, it might not hit you until maybe after the competition prep, which is quite an interesting topic. And you start to realize that the more in condition that you get. I remember when my dog would walk through the door, and then like it would be wagging its tail, buzzing to see me, and I'm a dog person.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like just looking at my dog, and I was thinking like,
fuck off. Yeah, I've got chicken and rice to eat. Well, no, I've just got chicken to eat.
yeah,
Get out of the way, you mutt.
yeah. I'm like, mate, I love dogs. Like, dogs are like the best thing ever. You know, like when they come greet me, it's like no better feeling. But I remember there was this one time I walked through the door, and then like she was wagging her tail, buzzing. I was just like, I actually just feel like numb to the emotion.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting.
I think from my own experience, and obviously the really interesting thing about prep is that you don't experience it alone. Like, it's not just yours. It's your friends, it's your family, it's everyone around you also shares that experience. But also like other competitors that are doing it at the same time as you. So I think it's really interesting to navigate and kind of compare your experience to other people's. The main things that I would say for anyone listening who's thinking of doing this, I massively agree with what you've said, mate. Like in terms of like your why has to be absolutely bulletproof. Even if it is just like, I want to prove to myself that I can do this, it can't be something that if you don't prove to yourself, it doesn't matter. It has to be like, if I don't do this, I am not who I think I am. It has to be that fundamental to your identity that you will not miss the mark, you will not fail, you will not back out. All of these things have to be so true to your core personality that it will just revolve around it, and you'll stick to what you need to stick to. On top of that, your life has to be set up in a way to support that goal, because it's going to consume a lot of your time. It's going to consume a lot of your energy. It's going to consume a lot of your routine. So you have to have your life set up. And I certainly, have learned from that mistake that my career at the time that we prepped definitely wasn't set up in a way that I could be totally stress-free. And if anything, I remember I'd come into the gym and you'd be like, "You're right." And I'd be like, work, blah, 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 blah. I've got this shit going on. I've got that shit going on. I was going into London a lot. And that is a super stressful environment. So that's my next point to people, is just give yourself like the least amount of stress that you can possibly give yourself. Number 3, get yourself financially set up to a point where you've got like a fund for prep. Shows cost money, federation memberships cost money, like the whole experience of competing. TANs cost money, travel costs money, accommodation costs money, trunks cost money. You are going to be spending a decent amount of money on this.
And shows nowadays as well, like they're all some of them are like back-to-back days,
Yeah, exactly.
Or so like you'll register on a Friday and you've got either your show on the Saturday or the Sunday, and then you've either got to stay over 2 days, especially if you're quite far away from the venue, and you just want the show to be as stress-free as possible. It can work out. It can be expensive.
Yeah, massively. I remember I started making a fund.
The tanning and venues and stuff. So it's a lot.
I made a fund, and I'm glad that I did, because without that money being there and just kind of ready to be allocated to certain things, you would be in a more stressful position. And it's like, well, hang on a minute. I've done all of this work, all of this dieting, all of this cardio, whatever it might be, to then potentially not be able to do it because of money or whatever. So create a fund for yourself, do it on Monzo, do it on whatever you want to use, and just do that early. Like, as soon as you've established, right, I'm going to prep at some point, start drip feeding in 50 quid, 20 quid, like just do that. Because you'll thank yourself in the long run.
Definitely.
My last point, I've got 2 final points actually on this. Number 1, establish boundaries with your coach. I think that's massively important. I'll use myself as the example there. Like, I had 3 weddings in the period of our prep, and I said to you that, like, fundamentally, and people can agree with this or disagree with it, I was not going to be eating out of Tupperware at weddings. I was very much so on these weddings were for people who are very, very close to me, people I've been friends with for life, who have paid for me to eat that food. I will manage that, and I will take the responsibility and roll with it. But I think just in general, establishing boundaries with a coach that you're working with and saying, look, this is what I'm willing to do. And your coach, if they're professional and if they're to a high standard, will tell you exactly how that will impact you. If a client came to me and said, I'm prepping, this is an extreme example, I'm prepping, but I need to have a chocolate bar at least once a week, I'd say, okay, second call out. If that's it, and that's if the client says it's a mutual agreement, like you could turn around to a client and be well within your rights to say, well, I'm not going to prep you then, because you on stage are a representative of my service. I think there has to be that boundary of like mutual agreement of what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. and what that's going to cause in the long run in terms of placings, in terms of everything, like managing expectations on both sides. And I know that stems up even to like the highest level of bodybuilding, where you've got clients that are difficult, even though they've got all the potential in the world. But last thing, be super positive. Like, go through prep with a smile on your face, because at the end of the day, you have chosen that suffering. You have chosen, you are like, what's the word? Lucky. You are lucky enough
The privilege
to have the opportunity, the privilege of prep, like the privilege to be able to take your body to that extreme is so unbelievably rare. And I think if you go in and you just start thinking about how hungry you are, how tired you are, how this you are, how that you are, like that's just going to compound over time, and you're going to have the worst experience imaginable, which is probably going to lead to a worse result in the long run.
But then it also means that your goals probably aren't big enough. You probably shouldn't be prepping, you probably shouldn't be prepping in the first place if that's your headspace.
Yeah.
You know, like you should be so driven by the goal of competing that like you're willing to feel a bit of hunger. It's cool.
Yeah.
Accept it. You moan about it all the time, then you're just doing the wrong thing, man. Like
I agree.
Like, okay, cool. Like, have the occasion of where you're like, okay, now I'm like really fucking hungry, like because you legitimately will be.
Yeah.
But like, if you're like 4 weeks into prep and you're already moaning, it's like, just get out of prep. Yeah,
it's not for you.
It's not for you.
It's not for you, and not at that point in your life. And that says to me that, like you said, your goals either aren't big enough or important enough to you at that time. Your life isn't set up in a way to support the journey that it's going to take. But I remember, mate, like I remember being in Corpus in prep, and like a few people said to me, like, not that they were inspired by what I was doing, but they like were really respected that I would still come into Corpus and I'd talk to everyone. I'd come in with a smile, I'd have a laugh, and I'd have a joke. And you see other people in prep that are just like zombies and like really miserable and grumpy to be around. And it's like, that's not, to me, that, and maybe that is other people's bodybuilding, but that is not my bodybuilding. My bodybuilding is, I love this. Like, this is something that I do as a passion. So why would I not be passionate about the process and be smiley and happy and everything else?
I think towards the back end, it's
hard.
It's really difficult.
Yeah.
But if you are legitimately like just really like just moaning all the time, and you're just just complaining that you're hungry, it's at the earlier stages,
quit.
You really shouldn't. Yeah, just start, because there's going to be more opportunities for you to do this, and if you actually spend more time in the off season, slapping on more muscle, or maybe getting yourself into a better starting position from a body composition perspective, where you don't have as much to lose on the way down, you're going to be able to keep your food a little bit higher. You're going to have an easier, quote unquote, easier prep. You're going to be dieting on more food, and like steps is probably going to have to be a little bit lower. You don't have to do as much cardio. So just timeline it. Set yourself up for the prep. That's why pre-prep diets can be such a useful tool to utilize in the off season, because if you're 50 pounds away from stage weight, you might be able to pull down 30, reverse back up 10, and next thing you know, you're 30 pounds away from stage weight, rather than being
50.
A whole 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Which is going to be the difference between someone's enjoyment of the prep, or they kind of relish in the fact that this prep's going to be brutal, but I'm willing to give it a good fucking go, and let's see how far we can take it. But it's your mindset that will determine how you feel throughout that.
Yeah, and I agree with you on the whole, like, from my perspective, and obviously, like I said before, this is totally unique to me, but I, for the vast majority of the time that I was prepping, would try and have that positive mindset and just be like very present, like feel everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And my more difficult moments usually did come when I was like not with people and when I was on my own. And I remember specifically like a couple of walks around here when we'd moved into this flat, and you're dragging, and like the co-op for me is literally, I can see it from my window. So that's how close it is. It's not far. And I'd be like, right, I need to go and get green beans or whatever it is I need to go and get from there. And you're like, it's going to be hell to walk there and back, which is less than 10 minutes maximum, is going to be rough. And
folding up some washing is like the biggest chore.
anything becomes more difficult. And towards the back end, you really are like the social occasions and things like that you mentioned. That's something that definitely, if there comes a time where I go again, I would want to navigate very differently and try my very best to be more present in those occasions. But it's really hard. Like when you've actually got nothing in the tank.
You've done a good job, mate.
I think so.
You did.
But there were occasions. It's because it was more important to me than it was to other people. I know people who do this sport and they're just like, bodybuilding's all that matters. So I'm not going to go to that person's birthday party because But then, so for me, it was like, well, I'm going to ask all of these people to come to my shows. So if I can't show up for them, why the hell should they show up for me when I'm prancing around on stage in my pants? Like, if I can't come to their birthday, that's just not right in my book, like morally. But there were times where I would be at a social occasion and people would be asking me things, and you're in the room, but you're not in the room. You're kind of like, just like trying to listen.
You're talking, but you're not present.
Oh, you're trying to listen to what everyone's saying, and you're missing things, and like then the conversation moves on. Everyone's talking around you, and you're just kind of there like this, like just trying to stay in the zone and try not to fall asleep, which is madness. So that's. I hope that gives some people some perspective, and I think I speak for both of us. Both of us when I say anyone who wants to talk to us about prep. If you're close to Zack, speak to Zack. If you're closer to me, speak to me, because we'll definitely divulge to you some hard truths about what is going to happen and what to expect and how to face those things, because we've done it. Quite simply.
100%.
I reckon we're coming up to an hour. We can keep going if you've got other things to talk about. I've got some topics that we could cover.
Matt, pick a topic and let's ramble on.
I think we'll pick a topic and we'll do that and then call it, because we don't want people having to listen for too long to us. An hour is a pretty good chunk. I'll give you a couple of options. So one, which I think is quite interesting, and I've definitely got some bits and pieces to talk about on it. Has social media changed bodybuilding forever? We can go into that.
Yes.
Good answer on that one, mate. Yes.
It has.
The other one, I'll let you pick either one. Is fitness becoming too complicated? So I'll let you pick between those two.
They merge in together.
All right, let's cover the social media one first then, and then see where we go.
I mean, it is becoming too complicated. The whole bodybuilding process is now becoming too complicated. There's too many things that you can do right. There's too many things that you can do wrong. And there's only a right way and a wrong way now, according to social media.
Yeah.
Whereas and we said this on last week's podcast, I think I got into training when, there was no rules. There was no, you have to do this, you have to do that. You just train as hard as you possibly can in that moment. Now people are coming into training and bodybuilding, and it's all resistance profiles and how to make things as optimal as possible. Instead of just getting over some dumbbells and barbells and absolutely full sending it. Yeah, not even just shifting weight, but still trying to do things as well as you possibly can. But, I look at some people's training at 19, 20 years old, and even when they think that they're knowledgeable, they're actually just holding themselves back. These are people that will just do one set on things and then call themselves fatigue management, and they're a PT now. It's like, it doesn't make you a good PT because you can just manage or think about ways of accumulating the smallest bit of fatigue You know, you're
Do you think
19 years old, man. You can literally get in and smash your body to
your
pieces.
body is
And
made out of like Play-Doh and fucking magic beans at that point? You could
yeah,
probably jump off of a bridge, break your spine, and have a full recovery. Like,
yeah,
you can throw caution to the wind a bit.
yeah, yeah.
Do you think that that's in big part, like, and I've seen this definitely, like, I remember when I created my Instagram account for like fitness and stuff, it
Yeah,
was to like just show people how I train and what I do and da da da. Because in my own little circle, I was like the guy who went to the gym.
yeah,
And now I feel like we're in this like social media market in a way, and like the currency is attention,
yeah,
and controversy, and just like talking shit is what gets you the most attention. It's why often you'll find the best creators, in my opinion, in terms of like value and bringing that to their audience, it's the smaller creators. It's people who have got, like, they could have a decent following, but it's a niche following of
yeah,
people who
yeah,
actually care about results, versus if you're getting your information, and I'm not saying this is like for everyone, but if you're getting your information from someone who's got like millions and millions of followers on Instagram or TikTok, whatever it might be, just look at the quality of what they're doing, and look at like, scroll back like 6 months and see how they looked in the video 6 months ago. I guarantee they probably look the same as they look in the
yeah,
video that they posted yesterday.
yeah. I've got there's one person, right, and his name's Jay Hollinsworth,
Yeah,
and he trains at Ultraflex Rotherham. He done a video with Keithy West, and it was on MBW, and this guy is just an absolute animal. Like he'll
yeah,
do like Zercher squats. I think it was with like 260 kilo. You know the squat
yeah.
where they
I
get
know
him in
that.
there. Yeah, I think he must have been like in the army or something. The man's an absolute fucking warrior, mate.
Mm,
Like and you know, you look at someone like him, right, and then you look at some of the 19-year-olds that are coming up into this fatigue management era, and you just fucking face palm the fucking counter. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? You headbutt it. You're like, what is going on
because the
with
evidence
this
is right in front of
generation,
you.
with this world? Because like some people have to bulletproof their fucking bodies
Yeah,
and put themselves into some absolutely disgusting shit to be able to get results and to
yeah.
build resilience in their body. And yet we've got, you know, 19-year-old John. John's quite an old 19-year-old, to be fair. It's quite an old name, but
I know what you
it's
mean
like
though.
they're just not doing anything
Bicep curls on
that's
a leg
gonna.
extension or something, and
Yeah, they're just
I
not going to
think.
build any resilience to their body. And anybody that is on the
Mhm.
MBW membership site, like, please give that video a watch, because I think it was a 75 kilo backpack on their back, and they just walked around this whole park, and it was absolutely a ginormous park. I can't remember how far they travelled, but you know, Keithy obviously deadlifts like absolutely
Yeah, it's a
stupid
freak.
amounts, well over 300 kilo plus, and you know, he was getting to the point of where he was like breaking,
Different style though,
and
isn't it? But I think the
different
main
mentality.
takeaways, once again, like the main thing, and I can't preach this enough, like when you see these people on social media who you do click with and you're like, wow, they've got an incredible physique and they're doing incredible things. So, like look at their facial expressions and look at the intensity of the body of work they're doing. It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
it is. It could be like an ultra runner, it could be a power lifter, it could be a bodybuilder.
yeah,
The common theme between every single one of these people is that they're willing to take their body to places that are disgusting, mentally and physically.
yeah,
And that is what builds
yeah,
that resilience. That is what builds the body is literally just a physical manifestation of the mindset, right? So if you've got a weak mindset, you've got a weak body. If you've got a strong mindset, you've got a strong body. It's as simple as
mate.
that.
That's so well put.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, I can come
flip
out with a
it, reel
few
it,
few
flip
nuggets
it,
every now and
reel it.
then.
Get that up.
Clip it,
That is
reel it,
so true.
pump it out, million views.
Yeah.
There we go. But that's what I
That's
mean. It's like,
right. See you later. Good
but
night. Thank
top
you.
top bins, mate.
Straight
This
and
is what
top
I
in.
mean when I'm talking about, like, I see these big influencers, and it's not even their fault. Like, I don't blame them. They're living in this market where their currency is attention, and if they get enough attention, they get paid thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of pounds for curating that audience and doing the shit that works. And unfortunately, for the younger generation that are coming up, the shit that works is shit. It is shit, and it's controversy. It's how can I do something that I know is going to get comments about how bad it is? It's going to create a narrative in the comments section that then is going to trickle the algorithm. I'm going to get millions of views. I know, let me put a foam roller on my arm whilst I do a tricep extension. Oh, and just to add some measure, I'll like tape my head to the cable stack and I'll put a gum shield in. Oh, and I better have my armbands on as well, like, because, but that's all it is, isn't it? Mate, it's just attention, and they know what they're doing. They're good at it. And unfortunately, the pendulum has to swing one way quite extremely to then come back the other way. And that's what I really appreciate about, like, this is a big loop back around to what you said about working with, what was the brand you're with? Four Ball, yeah. 4 Ball. Authenticity with brands and creators. Like, when I see, I'm going to use the only example that is coming to my mind right now, which is Controlled Insanity. I've not got any of their stuff. I want to soon, because over the last 9 months, everyone that they've sponsored, I've been like, yeah, that's someone who works hard. That's a legit bodybuilder. That's a legit person. Whereas if you go down the list of like who Gymshark sponsor, who my protein sponsor, sorry if I'm shooting us in the foot for any future sponsorship potential, but
shoot it yourself, mate. I understand.
You love them. Yeah, you love them. You love them. Yeah. I'm a big fan. Please. But it does. It's like I see those people and I'm like, okay, so another funny video or another, like, none of it's real. It's just it's attention. And it brings me on to my next topic about the whole social media discussion. Is I made the decision a while ago, unless the brand was absolutely right for me, I think I would hate that life. Genuinely, to be an influencer, I think I would hate it, because you are, although it's one of these things that people look at as such an opportunity, and don't get me wrong, it is, like, the money you can make and all of that stuff, but you are just an employee. You don't have freedom. You get told, be at this photo shoot at this time. You're going to wear this and you're going to smile and you're going to laugh because you need to make them happy. You need to tickle them, tickle those Gymshark followers and all that. Mate, it's madness. It's madness. Like, I think a lot of people dream of that, and that's what a lot of people are chasing, is like that fitness influencer archetype. When in reality, I bet it's a lot more work and a lot less reward than you actually think.
100%. Yeah, you've got to be fully in line with the people that you're working with as well. Like, you know, because you're going to want to work for them. You're like, you want to work for them. You want to promote them because you believe in them as a company, as a business. You know, and it works the opposite way around as well. You know, so it's just keeping that level of, like, trust and alignment, drive for success.
Yeah. I can't imagine a situation worse than, like, I'm being sent these clothes that I don't want to wear because I don't like them. And I'm being told to post a video about how much I like them. The pressure that would create in me internally, like the conflict that would give to me, I'd be like, that is just not right on any level. I'm basically just tricking people at that point. That's why I think if for anyone out there listening, I know that this podcast just goes in all different directions in terms of what we talk about, which is why I love it personally. But it's why, to me, like, it's so important, and it's at this stage in my life as well, where I'm 30, to be building something that's truly mine. I know you feel the same in that you've been in that game for a bit longer than me, but, like, that's the thing for me, as like a new entrepreneur, or whatever you want to label it, as someone who's working towards that goal of being self-employed. The most liberating feeling has been, like, whenever someone asks me, well, can you do that within your business? And I'm like, well, yeah, if I want to, because I'm the only decision maker. I'm the only director in the company. Like, I'm the only registered director.
Yeah, you're the person in the driving seat.
Who else is going to tell me if I can or not, or can or can't do something? That's so empowering. Like, Interesting.
Completely agree.
Good topic, that one.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you want to just quickly cover? We'll quickly cover the is fitness becoming too complicated, or have we already kind of done that?
I think we've done it though. Within you know, fitness, bodybuilding, training. That was kind of the same question.
All
in my
encompassing.
opinion.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can wrap that up then.
Definitely.
Put a nice bow on it. Slap it up, and let people
signed, sealed, secured.
Yeah. Wait until the next one.
Episode 4.
Episode 4 in the books. I've got something to tell you quickly. Actually,
go on.
Most podcasts fail within like the first 20 episodes.
Okay.
So our goal is to get past 20 episodes and just keep going.
Mate, I don't see a reason why
we're
not going to keep going.
Easy. We're coming for Joe Rogan with that 7,000 episodes or whatever he's got. We said it in the first one. We're coming for you, mate.
Yeah. Might even get to imagine 2 podcasts a week. Maybe we just keep pumping them out.
Oh my god. I think my life would have to get significantly more interesting for us to do.
Yeah, I think so. As bodybuilders, we eat chicken and rice every day. We go to the gym every day.
Pretty much really. Well, actually, I am actively. I'll save this for next week because I'm actively trying to work on that. I'm you know, everybody's like looks maxing and everybody's doing all these stupid things. I'm hobby maxing, mate. That's what I'm going for.
Right.
I am hobby maxing.
Paddleboarding.
I'm learning Italian. I'm going to try and pick up yoga because I'm immobile.
Yoga?
Yeah. And there's a little cafe by us that does like tabletop games, Dungeons and Dragons, that sort of stuff. Okay. I'm going to go in there. I'm building the confidence to do it because it's a different scene, a different environment. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to say, look, I like Lord of the Rings. I've got Lord of the Rings tattoos and things. This is what I'm into. I can spare an evening a week. Put me in the ring. I don't want it to take 8 hours of my week. I want it to take 3. I want to get that going.
Put you in the ring.
Yeah, just, you know what I mean? Like, I want them to say that, okay, given that you can give this much time to it and you're this interested in it, this is a good game for you to get involved with. And these people play that every Thursday at 7:00, and I'm hobby maxing. Yeah,
respect it. Yeah, I mean, I attempted to become like a pro badminton player when I was like injured because badminton seemed to be one of the main things that I could still do to keep active relatively because it's just a sideways step there, bit backwards. You play doubles as well, so it's a bit less movement.
Yeah.
And me and Tom, Paige's brother, we used to have some games, and I was like, okay, this is a fucking good game now.
Yeah, they're fun.
We used to go like 1-1, and then it was like 2-2, 3-3, and then it used to get like in 3 points ahead. I used to catch up. We had some cracking games. Yeah, you've got to venture out.
You know, if certainly something I've noticed, and this is for anyone out there listening. We are meant to be ending this episode, but we will after this. My life at the minute, you know, work is the gym, and my whole business is the gym. My passion is the gym, and my social life is the gym. Can't have that many things in one pot. You need to get a few different pots going. That's what I'm learning. So something to work on. I'll update you next week when I'm fluent in Italian and
within a week.
Yeah,
you're doing a crash course.
Speed run it, mate.
Yeah, respect.
Right. Anyway, I'll close off. I'll close off with some Italian because I can say goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah. Arrivederci. Yeah. I'll learn more words. I promise.
All the Italian listeners, they're all responding to you in
frothing
Italian.
at their mouth because of my pronunciation's probably so poor. They're probably pissed.
I reckon you nailed it, mate.
Yeah. Right. Thank you for listening, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, because we always forget to say that. If you're not already following the Instagram page, give it a follow. Zack,
subscribe to the old Chatty Natty Podcast.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
10 subscribers at the minute.
Yeah.
So I want to get that to at least 50.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
If we can get to like 15 episodes in and have 50. I mean, I'd be
Growth.
relatively happy with that.
Growth.
Not bad. It is growth. One
Cool.
step at a time.
Yeah. Right. See you all next week.
Peace.
Peace out.